be here. Glad to see everyone here. A lot of faces I haven't seen in a great while. It's a celebration and a bit saddening to see Larry go here. Larry came in and had all this energy, and he went to school and he was going to solve crime in Bladen County. And I was sitting back there thinking, boy, you got a lot to learn. I can remember those, but back many years, I mean, we had a small department, but we were tight knit, and we done everything together. We celebrated together. We laughed and cried, buried some of our officers. And so, but we had some really good times, and there was nights that we laid in the field watching suspects and doing stakeouts and doing drug raids and dodging bullets, and that's for real. Sometimes we'd be out there just watching a combine, waiting for somebody to come break into it or something. But no way that I could go through the experience that we've had together.
Changed our ID badges, and of course we come up with a new ID badge that has our coin in it, and so the chief's getting the first one. We just got these in a couple weeks ago. So today I'm going to present that and his plaque, and his plaque says, presented to Major Larry Guyton for his loyal, dedicated, unselfish, and compassionate service to the citizens of Bladen County and to the staff of the Sheriff's Office. Thank you. Presented by Bladen County Sheriff's Office, August 2019.
And today we'll be presenting Larry with his service sidearm. He is been a firearms instructor for many years for the Sheriff's Office. And as an outward symbol of law enforcement, a lot of times people identify the badge and the gun. And I know this has a close place with him, so I'm going to present his service with him.
But it is a great day of celebration for Larry. He says he's retiring. When he goes home and finds out all those honeydews that he's been putting aside, it won't take him but a couple of weeks to be back here. That's right. But Larry, if you will, get a boss lady up here. I know she's been a big part of this. So this is the most prestigious honorable award given by the state of North Carolina to a citizen of the state of North Carolina. State of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, Governor, reposing special confidence in the integrity, learning, and zeal of Chief Deputy Larry Guyton, I do by these presents confer the Order of the Longleaf Pine with the rank of Ambassador, extraordinary privilege to enjoy fully all rights granted to members of this exalted order, among which is the special privilege to propose the following Carolina toast in select company anywhere in the free world. Here's to the land of the longleaf pine, the summer land where the sun doth shine, where the wheat grows strong and the strong grow great. Here's to down home, the old North State. Signed by the Governor Roy Cooper, August 30th, 2019. Congratulations.
Very few that went through Salemburg, BLET, basic law. And he went through in 1987. He was hired with the Sheriff's Office, I think, and they sponsored him through there. He came to work with the Bladen County Sheriff's Office, worked 2 to 3 years on the road as a regular uniform deputy and was promoted sergeant. And, you know, things were a lot different back then than they are today. And now we have promotional tests, and we have interview boards and all kinds of stuff. Well, Larry shared with me several years ago, Sheriff Earl Storm, who was a good friend of mine, called Larry one night, and he said, "Guy, you want to be a sergeant?" And Larry said, "Yes, sir, I do." He said, "All right." So Larry called him back and said, "Sure, have I been promoted sergeant?" He said, "Did I call you?" He said, "Yes, sir." So then you've been promoted. That's what he did back in the day. So Larry was a road sergeant And he did so good at that, after a while, they promoted him and sent him back into the investigation division. When him and Rodney hooked up back there and did some good work. And before long, they promoted him to lieutenant over the criminal division. So Larry has been around, he's done everything there is to do. He lived here for a year, went to Kosovo, and I've heard those war stories, which are very interesting to hear, some of the things he did in Kosovo. In 2013, I guess it was, I was thinking about running for sheriff. And I knew Larry very well. I knew he was a road deputy. I came here as a trooper and a patrolman, and along with Will Smith. And I knew Larry pretty good and run him in different places. But when I really got to know him is when we had an officer-involved shooting on July the 6th of 1991. And that's a day I'll never forget, because back then you didn't have a lot of shootings like you do now. Things have changed. But Larry was a 3 or 4 year rookie on the sheriff's office. And we're all at the scene. And Larry had just gotten a video camera. And he had that thing rigged up. Here's how far he thinks in advance. He had it rigged in his car as a car camera. So if he wanted to video a stop, he could do that. Nobody even thought about it back then. Well, we're all busy out there running around doing this and doing that. And I see this deputy walking around with a thing on his shoulder, walking around looking at people, talking to them, and especially when they interviewed the witness. He was interviewing that. And that became one of the most vital pieces of evidence in that officer-involved shooting. So Jerry Smith was my first sergeant. I was line, so I went to his house, reviewed the tape, and district attorney's office, and court appointed it. And so Larry saved the day by thinking ahead. So we really became very close then. Then we started teaching a lot together after college. And we were down in Salem in 2013. And I said, Larry, I'm thinking seriously about running for sheriff. What do you think? I think you're crazy. I said, well, that's something I want to do. And he said, well, you might stand a chance at it. I said, well, if I do, would you be my chief deputy? And he said, I certainly will. So Larry and I went to work. We had a lot of meetings. We met a lot of people. I ran. I won. He came to work with me, not for me. He came to work with me as my chief deputy. And he has been loyal to me. He's been loyal to this office. And more importantly, he's been loyal to the citizens of this county. He has done a wonderful job. I'll never be able to prepare him for what he's done. And I'm gonna tell you one more story about him. In January, my wife was diagnosed with cancer. And Larry was going out January 31st, right? Well, he told me, so I'm not going anywhere till we find out Kathy. So he stuck with me. And then we went to some sheriff's office, I think in Eddie, South Carolina, down around Brotherton County somewhere. And I asked Mac Warner if he would consider coming to be my chief. I'd be back, way back. And he told me he would. So Kathy and I are going through a lot of things to do. And Larry said, I'm going to stay another month or two and train Mac, or teach him everything I know to fulfill my obligation. And he's done that. And I'm telling you right now, I'll never be able to pay him for that. Never. So he means a lot to me. We'll miss him here. We all will. And the citizens of this county, believe it or not, the citizens of this county will miss him greatly. That's a lot of knowledge sitting there. There's nothing Larry Guyton in law enforcement, there's nothing he doesn't know a little bit about. And most things he knows a lot about. And he's gonna stay out 30 days. We'll bring him back. We'll let Brotherton County borrow him a little bit, help him train down there, because they need him training. So I'm looking forward for this 30 days to get over, bring him back, and then get back into the saddle, and this will get back to this county.
Larry, and completely unexpected, y'all may know that when he was with UNCW. But there's really a time of almost 20 years prior to that, when I was an impressionable, I guess 19-year-old. He had just been promoted to sergeant, and I was working at Scotchman night shift, and Larry loves coffee. Well, he did. I assume he still does. I just had some wonderful conversations with him. You know, he was absolutely one of my heroes then, and still one of my heroes now. And during those years he worked at UNCW, he really was my, in case of emergency, break glass, call Larry. I agree, Sheriff. He just knows so much about so many things. And on just a couple of occasions, I did have to break that glass and call him, and he just solved a number of problems for us. He's just an exceptional person. I went to B-Lit with his brother, Ronnie, and I remember one particular time, Larry was teaching something that had to be officer safety related, because the guy next to me fell asleep. And Larry had his coffee cup, and it wasn't quite empty. Well, the guy beside me caught the coffee cup, I caught the coffee, and it absolutely made the point of stay alert and stay embraced with what you're doing. And Larry has always distinguished himself with any agency he's worked with, and certainly in any position he's been in, from pursuing school to the thousands of people he's impacted through instructing, and just a remarkable human being.
Yeah, I was here when Larry came here, and can't find one more loyal than that boy there. And, you know, one thing you can always look for, Larry will always have you 6 o'clock, as they say. And, man, I love you, and it's been a good ride and a long ride, so I'm glad you're finally here.
Thank you. Now, and the chief here at Bladen for the past 3, and really got to know Larry well in that capacity, kind of working together. Both of us are number 2s, so the stuff rolls downhill from the top, as folks say. But Larry and I really have a great connection. We try to have what we call a police prosecutor team approach, and that's really the bond that we've developed with the DA's office and the sheriff's office, and a lot of that is largely due to Larry's credit. At any time I can go to him if I've got some needs or some concerns or anything like that. Larry is right there to hop to it. That phone is always on, and I'm going to miss him. Quite frankly, on behalf of our entire office, we're going to miss you. We really appreciate everything that you've done. As the sheriff alluded to earlier, we'll never know the amount of untold things that Larry does here. His hand is literally on everything. And it's quite true that we're going to be losing a wealth of knowledge and experience, but we just want to wish you the best in your retirement. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Mike brought it up earlier, and I guess I'm gonna say this because you were there when we started. He was one of the instructors that got us into this position, and I thank you for everything. You impacted me personally, and still do to this day. Everything that you've taught us, from the day that you pulled my hair to teach me that I should not have long hair, it made me cry, and I shaved my head bald the next day, the big, to today when you walk out the door and knowing that I can call you because I know you know what you're talking about. I can trust the information that you give us, and I thank you for everything that you've given us.
I already don't read it, but I respect you, you're talking a lot, and, thank you, for your knowledge.
My name's Tony Sessions. I'm a retired officer here. A year to this day, I sat right there, and I asked Larry when I came in, I said, did you feel any different this morning when you woke up, when you got ready to go to work? He said, yeah, I felt a little different. And you do feel a little different. And I had people tell me, you're making the biggest mistake of your life, and Steve Bunn said, hell, you'll find something to do, It's been a pleasure knowing you. You've taught me a lot of stuff. We've had our ups and downs, and I think I said when I was sitting right over there a year ago to this day, that but when the rubber meets the road, you were a genuine friend, and I appreciate everything you've ever done for me in this department. And the sheriff was right. The county don't know what they'll miss when he's gone, because he has a wealth of knowledge. And tomorrow when you wake up, you'll feel the same way you did this morning. And you enjoy your retirement. Thank you.
I'm confused, I'm old, I can't hear good. I'm old and easily confused, but I'm confused. Is there 2 Larry Guytons we're talking about?
Maybe bipolar.
Oh.
Yeah, I started to bring Harold Davis with me this morning to see if he could bring up any blues, but I just couldn't get Harold.
There has been a lot of water over the dam in the last 30, 40 years. Brings back good memories and bad. Well, when I met Larry, he was Clark Kent, cub reporter at the Bladen Journal. And this was, I guess, back in the late '70s, early '80s. Worked his way up to be editor of the Bladen Journal for a while. But then he wanted to come to work for the sheriff's office. I recommended him and tried to help convince Sheriff Storms to hire him, and he did. We've been working together, Larry and I, since then, in one fashion or another, all those years. Larry had a journalism degree, and he was pretty good with the English language stuff. I had him a side job starting about 1993 or so, writing all my campaign speeches for me because I ain't that good a speech writer or a speech sayer. And the older I got, the more I began to cuss. Larry would just give the speeches for me, so I wouldn't even have to show up at all. That didn't work out so good either. I'm glad you were able to make it to retirement. It is good.
I've heard Larry described as a man of few words. No one's ever described him that way. It was because of having to grow up with him. I had to entertain myself, so I had to carry on both sides of the conversation. But even though I'm 13 months his senior, he's the reason I'm in law enforcement. If he can do it, I can too. He taught me in BLAT. I remember that incident, David.
Yes.
I wasn't going to sleep. I was about 4 feet from it. We'll keep that name secret, but everybody here knows it. But throughout my whole career, I have been known as Larry Guyton's brother. That's been my claim to fame. And I've been glad of it. And you would be surprised, probably wouldn't be, how many people I've met that said, "Oh, you're Larry Guyton's brother. He taught me how to shoot." And he's touched a lot of lives that way. I love it.
On behalf of the family, I would like to thank you for having his 6 o'clock, as you said. I thank y'all for bringing him home. Thank you.
And because of my brothers, my son followed their footsteps. You say your prayers at night and you ask the Lord to bless them and look after them, because this one right here, when he started BLET, I said, do not come home to me and tell me Uncle Larry did this, or Uncle Larry said this, or Uncle Larry picked on me. I said, you go into his class, he is your instructor, he is Mr. Guyton. We all thank you for supporting them and continue to support. We're all family, and we thank you.
Sheriff, I came to work. I'm Woody Abraham. I'm still in law enforcement. Anyway, I had the privilege of working with Larry and a lot of these guys here, and eventually made my way up to investigation. I don't know what I was thinking there, but anyway, worked with Larry and Rodney, and I tell you what they taught me in investigations, and was very, very invaluable. Obviously led to where I'm at now, and just their friendship and friends with their family and everything. You guys are great friends, and I miss not being out here to be around you more, but thanks for the invite, and I'll enjoy retirement.
As everybody in the room knows, I'm known as Big Bobby or whatever. Big Larry's been like a father to me, for us law enforcement, Judy. I remember when Sam was born. I was working with him at night. He was on night shift during that time. And, we became the third herd. Everybody in here, Tony, Woody, and even now in the mortgage, we'll end up being the third herd because of you. I'm standing up on behalf of the third herd. We appreciate you, we love you, I'm glad to see you make retirement, and thank you for everything you taught me.
I've been asked by my daughter and wife not to do this. So, I want to try and keep it positive. One thing I want to clarify, Mike Warner, speak. Mike, you keep telling people you got some big shoes to fill. You ain't getting my shoes. You don't want them. I'm gonna take income. And you gotta buy your own shoes to fill, okay? And, you know, thanks to Morgan, I don't wear old man shoes. You know, I went out and bought some high-speed, low-drag something. He made fun of the shoes I bought at Walmart that had the Velcro, you know. But if I thank everybody, we'll start there. Every one of you are special to me. And I thank you. We've been through a lot of stuff together, a lot of us. Somebody said we buried some fine men. We've had to say goodbye before we wanted to. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones because I'm going out on my terms. And I think back to how I got here. It all started way back when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I was in Elizabethtown one night. I met this Elizabethtown police officer. He and I were talking, and he said, son, you and I need to have a conversation, but before we do, I need to tell you that you don't have to talk to me. But if you do choose to talk to me, anything you say, I will use against you. And I thought, for a minute, I sat there and I thought, you know, that's probably one of the wisest things I've ever heard, the smartest things I've ever heard anybody tell me. And I thought about it a minute, and he said, so, are you gonna talk to me? I sat there a little bit, and I said, Officer Little, that's some of the best advice I ever got, and I think I'm gonna take you up on it. And I don't think I'm gonna talk to you. And he said, I'm gonna have an eye on you, son. And he did. And I went to BLET and was taking the laws of arrest, search, and seizure. And we had to read this case, Miranda versus Arizona. And I got to reading the words, and you have the right to remain silent. And I thought, daggone, Philip Little ain't as smart as I thought he was. No, but it's been a good long ride. I mean, there's so many of you that are so special. We had some good times. I've been blessed with a good family, and I'm going to embarrass a man. Richard, will you stand up? This is Richard Graham. He and I met in another lifetime, and 40 years ago in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we became friends. And except for a couple of years, we have deer hunted together for 40 years. But Cheryl, Rodney.
I miss you too.
Yeah. Yeah, I told, Steve Bunn this was gonna be a good riddance party, and, good riddance to all of you. Thank you for everything. I do appreciate it. And I've enjoyed the ride. Stay safe. Keep each other safe.